Savitri is chanting the hymn of felicity, Ananda Sukta to death, and she makes a tremendous revelation who really she is, who Savitri is. Our lives are God's messengers beneath the stars. She has declared her avatarhood. Our lives, that includes both Satyavan and Savitri, that they are the avatars, but they are the avatars of a different kind. Not the traditional 10 avatars of the Puranas, but the direct emanations of the Supreme into the mortal world. And for what purpose is this avatarhood? To dwell under death's shadow, they have come. They, our lives. For what they have come? To tempt God's light to earth for the ignorant race. So the mission of their avatarhood is fixed to bring down God's light into the ignorant race of the earth. The mission is fixed already. To bring down, to tempt His love to fill the hollow in men's heart, His bliss to heal the unhappiness of the world. Essentially, light, love, bliss. It is to bring them down in the mortal world, that they have come here as messengers. Now, our lives are God's messengers. Messenger is not only that they are bringing a message from God. See, Prophet was a messenger of Islam. But this messenger, rather this messengership of Satyavan and Savitri is of a different kind. That they had to come and work out the message. It is not that deliver the message, but to implement, to work out the message, you see. Our lives are God's messengers beneath the stars. And what is that they have to work? To dwell under the death's shadow they have come, tempting God's light, His love to fill, His bliss to heal. So that is the entire purpose of their avatarhood. Now, when we say avatarhood, each avatar has a specific mission. Here the mission of these two avatars is fixed regarding light and love and bliss. In the case of other avatars, they had a certain specific evolutionary role to play to carry the evolution forward from one step to the other, receive. And then she asserts who she is and who he is. Devatatarhood. For I, the woman and the force of God, I am His Shakti. I am the Shakti of the Supreme. And I come here as a woman here, the executive power in the mortal world. I, the woman, am the force of God. He, the eternal delegate, soul in man. Now, this soul is S-O-U-L, no? This is a typo. This is a typo. It is S-O-U-L. In the first edition of Savitri, it is S-O-L-E. But either it is a printer's mistake or somewhere it has happened. The actual word is S-O-U-L, and it is that which makes sense. He, the Eternal's delegate, soul in man. There could be some justification also for this word S-O-L-E, that he is the unique, he is the one, he is the only one who has come here as a delegate in man. Eternity's delegate of eternity in man. So there could be some justification for S-O-L-E also, you see. In fact, in a way, S-O-L-E would connote something more than S-O-U-L. S-O-U-L, you see. So one will have to really see the manuscripts and how that change has taken place, where it has taken place, whether it is a slip, whether it is really S-O-L-E, you see. See, if you say, he, the eternal delegate, soul, S-O-U-L in man, soul in man, I mean, it sounds a little peculiar. You see. It sounds a little peculiar, you see. It doesn't really make much sense in that sense, you see. Whereas soul, a kind of a uniqueness is there in his coming here in man, you see. S-O-L-E, you see. So we'll have to really see whether there is typo, or whether if it is a dictated line, then the confusion will be still worse. Because Shaman will say soul, and this man will write S-O-L-E instead of S-O-U-L, you see, scribe. We don't know. And even if he repeats it 3 times, 4 times, 5 times, you can't make a difference between soul and soul, you see, in the recitation, you see. But the important thing is the double avatarhood is what Savitri is asserting. That yes, I have come directly as the Shakti of the Supreme. Yes, he has come himself directly as a mortal being in the mortal world. Now, this phrase, in man, would give you the time of their appearance in the earth creation, in the earth process. When the evolution has arrived at a mental stage, then they have come here. He, the eternal delegate soul in man, when the evolution has come to the mental stage, Manomaya Purusha, then suddenly they have come here to carry the work out, you see. This phrase is significant, in man. Before the arrival of man in the vital being, in the material being, they were not really there, so to say. If they are there, they were not active directly in that sense. You see. Now, this thing we could also understand right in the beginning of Savitri. In the first canto itself, first section, when man lifted up the burden of his fate, Savitri too awoke. 1.46, last line. 1.46. 1.46 and 2.1. Last line of the first section and the first line of the second section. Man lifted up the burden of his fate. When man came on the scene of evolution and lifted the burden, at that moment of time, Savitri too awoke among these tribes. Among these tribes. So, soul in man. So, the whole delegation again means you see the coherence between this statement and that statement earlier. You see, what was written about 20,000 lines earlier has not been forgotten.
But if you say this is the mission of the avatar,
Yeah.
the mission of the avatar, it's now.
No,
Not,
mission of the
not
avatar.
in the beginning, 20,000.
Yeah, but then she too awoke and she's carrying on. I, the woman, the force of God is working since that moment of time onward till now, even further.
Yeah, but here we are speaking especially about the mission of Shrobindo.
Well, that is, no, that is,
Because you said every avatar has a mission.
yes.
And this mission to fix the light in
Yeah.
the man, it's a Shrobindo mission. So it's now. It's not many thousand years ago. I don't
Well,
understand.
actually, when you say the avatarhood of Shivandu and the mother, and when you are equating that thing with the avatarhood of Savitri and Satyavan, there are complications. He says the eternal delegates soul in man, that is Satyavan. But what we have in Savitri, the avatarhood of Shivandu is more identified with Ashwapati than with Satyavan.
Yeah. He could be boss also.
His boss is not that.
It's not that. Okay. But anyway, my question is not this. Whatever this mission is now to save the human being.
Yeah.
Now, not when he came first in the evolution.
No, now is a thing in the sense of the culmination of their work, in the culmination, in the fulfillment of what they have been doing since the beginning of this whole process.
Since the beginning.
The beginning of their coming is with the arrival of man.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. With the arrival of man. For I, the woman, you see, he has put W capital also. The divine Shakti, I am the woman, the force, executive power of God. And I have been working since this process started with the arrival of man. Actually, this particular sentence is a very difficult sentence from the occult point of view. Unless we have some touch with the occult, we can't really understand or fully appreciate its significance, you see. We may argue, we may try to kind of form a mental picture of it, but Mother herself has said, since the beginning of the earth, whenever and wherever there was a possibility of manifestation of the ray of the light, I was there. I was there since the beginning. When she was there, it means he was also there. He is the eternal delegate soul in man. And therefore she says, because I am the power of God, my will is greater than thy law. I am one who belongs to the transcendental creation, to my character, my whole station of operation and working comes from the transcendent. Whereas your law is a cosmic law. My working, my power, my will is greater. It is the transcendental will. And because of that will, I come here. And therefore, it is greater than the cosmic law. Death is a cosmic law. It is not a transcendental law. And as I said last time, law is a kind of a habit. Law, the name for death in Sanskrit is yama. Yama, which means law. Which means law. Yama means law. You are a cosmic power, but I am greater than you, I am superior to you. My will is greater than thy law, O death. My love is stronger than the bonds of fate. Our love is the heavenly seal of the Supreme. We have been tied together right from the beginning, and it has the stamp, it has the seal, the signature of the Supreme Himself on it, always. And I guard that seal against thy rending hands. I guard that seal. I protect that seal. I protect that love. Death cannot tamper with it. I guard that seal against thy rending hands. I guard the seal against the rending hand. Well, this is what has been done. In fact, that is how the whole question, the whole issue is the struggle between earth and love and death, the doom and love and death. That is what Savitri begins with, you see.